Hello and welcome to lesson 13 and module 3 of this course. We are over halfway through. We hope you've learned a ton of value when it comes to an AI automation agency. Today, we're going to be exploring building out an AI article generator. Now, this AI article generator is currently found on our AI marketplace at webcafesoftware.com. So we're going to go ahead and implement and integrate it with the PDF that is provided that would have traditionally been provided if you would have purchased it traditionally. Let's go ahead and jump in. You can go ahead and download it. Right below, you will have the commercial license. This is going to allow you to integrate it in your backend as a business, but also sell it as a service for other businesses. Okay, once you have downloaded the PDF, we're going to go ahead and open it up right here. Now, one thing we want to point out is that with Zapier, there are two types of blocks we cannot share with the link. That's going to be coding blocks and path blocks. Therefore, when you have an AI automation that you purchase from our marketplace that encompass a coding block or a path block, we make it very clear during the process that one is required and the ways to integrate it. In this context, let's go ahead and start off here. All we need to do is click to add. We're going to say open in Chrome. Once we have clicked that link, you're going to get prompted and have the ability to go ahead and add it directly to your Zapier profile. We're currently not signed in, so that's why we have this button. But as you'll notice within the title itself, it even identifies that, hey, there is a code block that's needed for step 10. So we'll make it very clear and very obvious to you when a code or a path block is required for a specific AI automation. Perfect. Once you have it in your own Zapier account, we can go ahead and rename it here. We're just going to rename it AI article. And then from here, yours may not have these specific titles, but we went ahead and inputted it for you to make this tutorial very clear. But essentially, once you are provided with the Zapier share link, you'll be able to integrate it directly into your profile. And then as you'll notice, we need to add a code block right off the bat. In order to do so, let's go ahead and follow the tutorial here. And as you'll see, we have very specific indicators on how to integrate the software. So an asterisk means it needs action. A square brackets, it means it needs input within the prompt. And then a / is just us giving a comment or advice about a specific ChatGPT prompt. As you see here, we are provided an overview of the overall flow with 1 through 6. Then we jump over here, 7 through 13. Let's go ahead and add that code block right now, which is going to be step 10. And then we'll fill in that information. Let's go ahead and do this together. We're going to build out an AI article generator with a specific topic and proceed from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer our first question here of when the article will be generated. Let's go ahead and go with every week. Continue here. Day of the week, let's go with Sunday. Time of day, we'll say 8 a.m. Continue, test this action. Now, one quick tip here, if you're familiar with the video that you watched earlier in this module about Zapier and the buy Zapier blocks, using a path block here could be pretty cool. That could be pretty cool because if we set our scheduler up to where it gets triggered every single day and then add the path block right after it, we could have it set up where on Monday, it posts a different type of article topic comparatively to Friday. All you would need to do in that context is set up that path block, do the exact same flow for Monday, do the exact same flow for Friday, but just change the article topic because everything after the article topic ChatGPT block is going to basically manipulate the entire rest of the flow. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We have it set, so every single Sunday, we're going to be posting an article here. Let's go ahead and start with our first block here, which is going to be the article topic. Coming over to our PDF here, it says to input this. We're going to go ahead and copy this, paste that in there. Also, as you see here, it asks us to make the assistant instructions SEO article, okay. It also tells us to change the model GPT-4 and then finally choose a key. All right, let's go ahead and put you are a SEO writer or blog writer. Upper model to GPT-4, and then let's go ahead and give it a key, topic, article. Perfect. And then as you see here, as we showed with the key earlier in the PDF, it looks like it needs some of our input here with the square brackets. So let's go ahead and add a space here. Let's format this a little bit cooler. And let's go ahead and generate a new article idea and see what we want to base it off of. So in this example, we're going to create an AI article generator for the purposes of food. So this could be used maybe in the context of a restaurant. So maybe you want to niche down to a specific type of culture when it comes to food. But for us, we're going to have it so essentially the article describes how to create a dish. We're going to go ahead and say use this as an outline and please insert the variables. I'm going to say, let's learn how to cook variable using these ingredients. We're going to add a little bit more context. We're going to say creating a food dish, do comma here, you here, and then this should be good. Let's go ahead and test this action. We may need to do multiple tests here to get an output we like. Okay, so I kind of like this. It says mastering the art of cooking authentic Japanese sushi, a step-by-step guide to crafting the perfect roll. So we have our article topic. Let's go ahead and cook some sushi up here. Let's go to the next block here, which is going to be the article title. Coming over here, we're going to go ahead and just copy the text here. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. As you see here, we're going to say based on this article idea, and then we're going to use the same preferences as before, SEO article writer, GPT-4, and choosing a key. Based on this article idea, semicolon, parentheses, and then we got the article idea from the previous one. Come down here, put the input in there, and then let's go ahead and format this. Generate an SEO optimized article title for Google search engine, and then we can go ahead and insert keywords, and we can also have parameters here. So we're going to go ahead and keep the parameters that I suggest. So we max 6 words, 1 sentence flow. And then if we want specific keywords here, then we would add them here. So for example, maybe the business we're dealing with is called Fish & Co. Harbor. You would use maybe that keyword within the title. But for our purposes, we're not going to use a keyword here. We're going to let it just generate off whatever it feels it's best. Then we're going to go ahead and keep it UR SEO article writer, GPT-4, and keep the memory key of article title. So hit continue here and retest this action. And there we go. We got an SEO article title that has been optimized for Google, mastering authentic sushi, crafting perfect Japanese rolls. Let's go ahead and move to our next ChatGPT block here, which is going to be the short description. From here, we're going to go ahead and copy from the tutorial PDF. Go ahead and paste here. And then as you saw before, it says based on this article title. I'm going to do semicolon, parentheses. Go ahead and get the article title that we just received here, which was mastering authentic sushi. And then we got some inputs here because it requests that from the keywords here. So let's go ahead and actually add a keyword here. Might be cool. So we got these square brackets here. We're going to go ahead and say keywords, easy cooking. And then we can go ahead and test this. So we have UR SEO article writer, article description, GPT-4, continue. And let's go ahead and test this action. And there we go. Mastering easy cooking, the keywords, techniques to craft perfect, authentic Japanese sushi, and rolls. So the next 2 blocks are going to be what are used for making the image associated with the article. So to make our dial prompts as effective as possible, what we like to do here at WebCafe AI is condense the data associated with the image we're about to create rather than just trying to put in a whole sentence, as that can confuse dial. So we're going to go ahead and just copy this. I'm going to paste that. I'm going to say based on this article idea, semicolon, parentheses. One thing I want to point out is that if you're confused about what data is being inputted for a specific block, just look at that little number 2. That tells me it's the second block in the flow. Therefore, the second block in the flow is the article topic. So I can go ahead and grab that. And we're going to do article topic here. System response message. And we're going to say generate 1 word and iOS emoji that resembles the article idea. Go ahead and make sure we inputted GPT-4, image idea. It's not too pertinent to have assistant instructions here. We can keep them as helpful assistant, continue, and test that action. And as you expect, we got sushi guide with a little sushi emoji. Let's go ahead and use that variable data and input it into a DALL-E prompt. So as I said before, we use prompt-based typically when we're trying to find DALL-E prompts that are specific for our clients that fit their niche. So due to the fact that we're dealing with a lot of food items for this AI article generator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this specific DALL-E prompt. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace that variable brackets, the square brackets. And we're going to go ahead and input the image topic. Sushi guide. Perfect. Let's go ahead and keep it at 1024. We want to have high resolution. We're going to hit continue here and let's test this action. And there you go. We got a really fancy looking sushi roll there that we're going to be able to use for our article. Now, one thing I want to point out real quick is that if you're using the AI article generator and you're debugging it a lot, that link right there is only going to last around 20 to 30 minutes. So you may need to regenerate it to keep testing out different ideas for possible content. That being said, when the AI automation is live and running, you never have to worry about that, and the image will work every single time. Okay, let's go ahead and do the first chunk of this article here, and we're going to do article content and do part 1. Coming over here, we can go ahead and copy all this information. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there, and we're going to say generate an article based on this topic. Go ahead and input the topic. So that was ChatGPT block number 2. As you see here, we have little comment slashes, which is just input from us here at Web Cafe AI. We say, please update the requested input as you desire. For example, you can request to only show H1 or H2 headers. It is important to ensure reliability by limiting the generated text to only 500 words per one of these blocks. Let's go ahead and delete that. We don't want those comments in the prompt because that's going to just confuse it. So the way we have it structured right now is only use H3 and H4 headers. You choose what to bold and bullet points, and the parameters is essentially the first 500 words. So I'm gonna go ahead and enter that real quick. And then as you see here, obviously we wanna make sure we're using HTML, as this is gonna be able to format the output a lot better. Make sure that we have assistant instructions set to your SEO article writer, or model to GPT-4, and then have a memory key here. Let's go ahead and continue here and test this action. So one thing I want to point out is due to the fact that we are generating a lot of content and we're using the GPT-4 model, it may take a little bit of loading time for you to get an output. But as you see here, we got our output. We got the H3 headers, we got the paragraph associated, then we got the second H3 headers, and then we got a ton of HTML to get bullet points here, and then a beginning process of step 1. But as you see here, it cuts off. Now, typically, if we didn't know how to handle that, we would run into a lot of issues because, how do we make it so it does 1,000 words? That's where these other blocks come into play. So now knowing that, let's go ahead and generate part 2 of this article. We're going to come over here. We're going to go ahead and copy everything here. Input generate an article for this. We do semicolon parentheses, and we're going to want to input the previous article here. So what we just outputted right now. So it has context. What are we continuing here? So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to hit shift, shift, shift. We're going to go ahead and paste what we got from our PDF, and we're going to go ahead and reformat this a little. So as you see here, if you wish to have a longer article, replace generate the rest of the article with generate part 2 of the article and proceed to create more GPT blocks. Once you have reached a point of completion, the last GPT block should state generate the rest of the article. Let's go ahead and try to do this in 2 blocks. If it doesn't seem to work, we're going to go ahead and increase it to 3 blocks. Knowing this, we can go ahead and delete this. And then let's go ahead and put enter here. And as you see here, this is that command it was referring to. So instead of saying generate the rest of the article, we would put part 2. But for now, let's go ahead and see if we can actually achieve a full 1,000-word article. We're going to say generate the rest of the article, H3, H4. You choose what to bold and bullet points. And then finally, the parameter just to really send it home that this is the conclusion of the article. We're going to go ahead and make sure we have the correct assistant instructions, correct model, and then a memory key. Let's go ahead and continue here. And as you see here, this is the input data from the first part of the article. Let's go ahead and test this action and see what happens. Okay, so we got our output here. What you'll notice is look how cool this is. So we got gradually fold in the sushi vinegar. Be careful not. And then the second output, to overmix or mush the rice as it should maintain its individual grain shape. Look how perfectly it flows with it. And as you continue through this, it's all HTML formatted, and then ends with our nice little conclusion. Fantastic. We went ahead and generated a fully AI generated article. Let's move on to step 9 here, where we're going to remove the quotation marks that sometimes appear with our article title. Now, as you see with this output, our article title doesn't have the quotation marks, but we always like including blocks like this with the AI automations we sell due to the fact that this can be used as an assurance block. If you keep running into issues with quotation marks showing up, just throw in a formatter block to ensure that this won't happen. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next block here, which is our code block. Let's go ahead and copy the relevant code. For reference, anytime you see a code block within our AI automations, we always use JavaScript. Go ahead, continue here. And then we're going to go ahead and paste that code that we just had here. And then we're going to make sure that we have the readily available information that's from the page. So it says essentially the input data is name fix, and then the output is 9. Name fix. And then we're going to number 9 here. Perfect. Now you might be asking yourself, What is the purpose for this code block? Why did you just do this? And how does this help the AI article generator? Couple things. First thing is that the purpose of this is we're making the handle for the link. So essentially, instead of us having to make a ton of different formatter blocks, so maybe 5, 6 formatter blocks, remove special characters, remove spaces, all this different stuff that typically incurs when you're making AI article generated titles, we're going to do it in one code block where essentially we're going to format this so it can be used as a handle for the article title. This will make more sense when we're building it out on our CMS, but for now, let's go ahead and run it. One other thing I want to point out, namefix is the variable associated here. So as you see here, namefix is this. So this is where that variable information is going to input into the code. Hit continue here. Let's test this action. All right, perfect. So as you see here, we've cleaned that piece of text, but we get a nasty little underscore here, which we don't want when we make this handle. So we're going to go ahead and use our next block here. And our next block essentially is going to ask us to replace any of these little underscores with empty space. So we're gonna go ahead and run that, go get the output from the JavaScript, which is gonna be result. And we're gonna hit continue here, test this action. As always, you can follow the PDF. And as you see with that removing of the underscore, it shows you step by step how to do that. The next thing we wanna make sure is with all the empty spaces between the article title, we're gonna add that hyphen for the handle. So we're gonna go ahead and go to our next block here. And as you see, we have it already inputted from 11. And we're gonna find the space like it's formatted. So the space between each of these words, we're gonna replace it with a handle, or sorry, a dash. Retest action. And there you go. Now we have the handle we're gonna be able to use in our article. Okay, let's go ahead and do our final step here. For reference, this AI article generator works for any platform that either integrates with Zapier or provides API documentation to post a blog, such as Shopify, WordPress. In this context, we just have Webflow. So let's go ahead and build this out together. As you see here, it tells you where all the associated variables are supposed to go within your article. So with Webflow, it's creating a new live item, coming over to actions. We're gonna choose our site here. We're gonna choose our collection. So for us, we call it articles. Let's go ahead and start off. We're gonna get our main image here. So we're gonna come over to article image, image URL. Perfect. Let's go ahead and give that short description we created earlier here. Go to the output all the way over here. There we go. Then we're going to come over to article content. This is going to be the actual content of the article. For us, all we need to do is go to article part 1. There we go. And then go to article part 2. Let's go ahead and grab that. And then if I remember correctly, I believe we're going to need to add just one space there so that when it flows, it isn't, together. Rather, it looks combined, if that makes sense. From here, you can add a tag from Webflow. Let me show you how to do that real quick. So tags are how articles are associated within the Webflow platform. Now, one thing that is very important for you to understand about tags is that you can't just say the word ChatGPT in this context and it will find it. You actually have to give the item ID. So the name is going to be that formatted article title, the cleaning. And then the slug is that last little part of all that code there. We're going to go all the way down here. It's called link maker. I'm going to add that there. Perfect. And as you see here, we're going to want to do false for archived, false for draft, and then that should all be good. One thing I want to point out here is you can add fixed text to this. So for example, with the name, I could add additional information here. So if I wanted to add maybe a dash here or just comma, or, essentially I could put, cooking made easy. So every single article would have cooking made easy in the title. I could also add additional fixed text to the article itself. So maybe hashtag cooking, hashtag time to eat. Let's go ahead and push this all forward. We're going to go ahead and just push this on our Made Web Cafe AI site so we can kind of see what it looks like live. All right, perfect. So coming to the site, you can see it right there. We got mastering, authentic sushi, crafting perfect Japanese roll. We added the cooking made easy as fixed text, so you see it in the title as well. I mean, that picture looks super cool. Coming over here, obviously we got our short description, master easy cooking techniques to craft perfect authentic Japanese sushi rolls. Scroll down here, and here is our AI article that's been generated here. So we got nice, bullet point formatting. Then we got the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And we got our conclusion. Really, really cool stuff. For your reference, any software purchased on our Web Cafe software marketplace is going to have a PDF associated with it like that. We like providing simple step-by-step tutorials so when you want to integrate it into your backend or business's backend, you know how to do it exactly and you run into no issues. Let's go ahead and jump into the next lesson here, which is going to be article to AI tweet. It's a complementary AI automation. So when an AI article is generated, we get an AI tweet calling it out and providing a link.